So I promise you next year we're going to come up with even more technology. I hear Tara. Tara, are you there?
Yay!
Yay, you made
Yes.
it. Good job. Great. How are you?
Not bad. How about you?
I'm really tired but excited because I think we're going to hit our goal. So we're doing really, really good. This has been a really, really great day. So we're doing really, really good. And so, and I can see now, it takes a little bit of delay. Hi, Brandon. How are you?
Hey, good.
Good. Good to see you too. So we've known Brandon pretty much since he existed. We've known Brandon. They've been members a long time in the charity, and he's got wings behind him. I love that. That is great.
Yes. They're falling over.
That's okay. That's okay. Normally, if I was there, Brandon would be wearing them because he does that for us because he's been so great. So
he does what Dawn tells him.
Yes, he does, and that's the great thing about being, you know, an aunt to him for all these years. So no other children listen to me that are actually blood related, but Brandon does, so which I'm grateful for. So I'm going to let you just dive into his history because we have limited time, and Brandon's got a very complicated history there. So I'm going to let you go. So tell us about your story with CDH.
Okay. Well, Brandon was undiagnosed. He was born in July 17th of 1996, and he was put on ECMO at about 8 hours old. And I was thinking about this today. I feel like, I've told my story hundreds of times, and I feel so detached when I tell it. But then some things will hit me, and I'm like, oh gosh, I still cry over certain things. But so when he went on ECMO at about 8 hours old, then he had his first repair a week later. And, I'm going to condense this a lot because, he is almost 22 years old. There's a lot of history with Brandon. Long story short, he spent 6 weeks in the NICU, had 2 repairs, Nissen and G-tube surgery, came home 3 weeks later, had to go back for another repair. First 2 years, he had 6 repairs. G-tube for 5 years, developmental delays. Let's see, he had a ventral wall hernia repair a year and a half ago at the age of 20. Let's see, what else have you done?
I was 20.
You were 20, yes.
Okay.
And, parenting an adult with CDH, I don't know that many people have talked about that. It's a little difficult because you want them to be independent, but, at his age, he really doesn't grasp his whole medical history. He doesn't remember any of it. And we have a new physician's appointment next week. So transitioning him to that is a little difficult. So we're in a whole new realm of things right now. You want them to be independent, but you still kind of have to hover over them.
Right.
And, we're going through, we still have, when he gets sick, is he reherniating? I feel like I'm like all over the place here. But
No, you're doing great. And you touched on something that's really important, that transitioning into adult care for these kids is a big deal right now. Because, hi Aries, because, there's a whole generation of kids that are just now growing up because, well, in the 80s, before our big generation of survivors in 90s, they were rare. Cases like Liz's were rare to have. So it is a big deal, and doctors don't know what to do with these kids, and I'm glad you brought that up.
And, it is hard trying to get him, I don't want to say I can't allow him to go to the doctors by himself. I have everything typed up for him, but they are going to ask questions that he just doesn't know because obviously he doesn't remember. He wasn't there, or he was there, but.
All right. Well, So Brandon's had 6 repairs. He's one of the cherubs that
Yes.
we've been talking about on some of the CDH facts this past month. We've been sharing 2 a day. And I know that is stressful and nerve-wracking for you. It's stressful and nerve-wracking for me because I know and love Brandon and I worry about him too. And one of the things that Brandon has done that's amazing and totally terrifying for me, and I could never watch him actually do it, is karate. And do you want to talk a little bit about that, on how you treated him like a normal kid despite this complicated medical history?
Yeah, and you know, it was hard, but because he was so small, we tried baseball, and you know, he wasn't fast enough. He wasn't as big as these other kids. Obviously, football was out for him because he was so tiny. So he needed an outlet, and we wanted something for him to do outside of just playing video games. So a friend was in karate, and she suggested it, so we took him to it. And, you know, at first it was just kind of nonchalant. Then he started liking it more, and we started going more, and then he really loved it, so we got him into the competition aspect of it, and it got a little brutal, and, you know, we just ensured that his instructor knew his birth defects. He even talked to the class about CDH and informed them, you know, about the risks of kicking Brandon in the chest. He always wore a chest guard. He did get kicked several, you know, multiple times in the chest area. His surgeon wasn't too thrilled about it, but he okayed it. And he quit when he was 18 because he got 2 concussions back to back. You know, that was more concerning than any abdominal trauma, but yeah, but it was a good outlet for him, and he did well. He earned a 2nd-degree black belt.
It's amazing. That is amazing.
He is.
He is. So, Tara, you and Brandon have been with the charity for a very, very long time. You've seen everything evolve throughout the years. Pre-internet, internet, websites, chat rooms, listservs, forums, Facebook, the whole 9 yards. You've seen it grow. You've seen research change over the years and the different studies that have come along. And so you have a great view of the CDH community over a long period of time. And it's amazing how far we've come, but it's amazing that we're still struggling for money for research and to help families after 23 years. And if you had a bullhorn to tell the entire world, tell the whole public who've never heard about CDH, what is the most important thing that you guys would tell the world?
And I mean, it's really sad to say, I wish everyone could take a tour of a NICU and see a CDH baby. You know, just look at a parent struggle. Look at that child struggling to breathe. See what we've gone through.
Yes.
You know, see what it's like to not hold your child. You know, Brandon was 12 days old. That's nothing compared to what a lot of parents go
You know, very
bother living. You know, if everybody could just think about that, you know, and what it takes to bury your child. I am extremely blessed for all he's been through. He's almost 22 years old. I have this. You've got to spend time with him. Yes, he's a pain in the butt, but I still have him. And you've lost Shane. I know so many people. Sarah's lost Jeremiah. All my friends that have lost their babies. What I wouldn't give for you guys to have what I have.
Oh.
If people could just donate, like you said earlier, their coffee for a day, a week,
Right.
to have what I have.
Well,
To not go through what we went through.
living with CDH is hard in a different way. You know, it's still hard. CDH is hard regardless. It's hard for us grieving families. It's hard for those who live with it every day. It's hard for those, especially who are still medically struggling with CDH. There's nothing good about CDH except that we get to meet other people who become part of our families. But as close as the community is, I know that all of us would trade it in a heartbeat to have our children be healthy and all of them here. We've come a long way. We've come a long way in the past year alone. We were ready to shut our doors last year, and we're doing a telethon to keep our doors open, and now we're doing international research projects with incredible universities. We rallied together last year and made that happen, and we're going to rally this year and make bigger things happen because I never thought we'd be here after 23 years still fighting this fight. I had hoped that we would have found the cause and the prevention, but you know, even when we do, the families are still going to need us. The families who are already affected are going to need us. But so Brandon, what would you tell other kids, because now you're a role model for the younger generation? What would you tell tell other kids about dealing with CDH? You know, what did you tell your friends about your scars? And, you know, how did you handle that in gym and high school? And so anything you want to tell the younger kids?
I don't really know. I never used it against me. I just kept going and just don't give up on that.
Okay. All right. So Tara has been a volunteer and on the board for Cherubs, and now she runs the Ohio Picnic for CDH every year, and we post that on our event page. So if you would like to meet Tara and Brandon and the other many wonderful families in Ohio, you can keep an eye on the Facebook page and go meet them. And if you would like to help further the cause, you can go donate on the website. Tara, can you tell us, in the roughly 21 years you've been a member of the charity, how much money have you been charged for any of the services that we provide?
None. None at all.
And we hope that we never have to charge families anything for what we do. CDH is enough of a stress. Oh. Is there any...
can't put a price on the family that CDHi and Cherubs has become for us.
Well, your family to so many of us too. You know, I'm exceptionally close to Tara and Brandon. We are family. We are literally family, and our boys played together, and they're family, and a lot of other families have bonded the same way.
We lost volume.
Oh, you lost volume. Yeah. They lost volume. They can't hear.
Is it under you or Dawn?
It's under Dawn's.
Okay. All right.
You might want to comment and say.
Their families bonded the same way.
We lost volume.
Oh, we lost volume. Okay, so we are going to say goodbye to Tara and Brandon because we have some technical issues going on, and we're going to reboot the feed. So we'll say goodbye to them for now, and Dallas, and so we're gonna say goodbye to Tara and Brandon, and we're gonna reloop the feed. So we will be right back in about 5 minutes.
We can't hear anything, but I can still talk.
Well, we're gonna go fix this problem, and and
thanks, Dallas.
Okay, so we will talk to you guys soon, and we're gonna reboot, and then we're gonna be back with Gabrielle Cardon from
Thank you,
University of
Dawn. Love you
Utah.
guys.
We love you guys too. Thank you so much, and we'll see you soon.